Hey guys, welcome back to another Unfiltered Gamer board game review. Today's game up on the table, we have the game by Sculpin Games called Clustered. Clustered is a tile placement game where players will get a certain set of tiles in their hand and they'll be placing them down onto the board and trying to obtain clusters of tiles. So you're trying to arrange them into rectangles where you're going either horizontally or vertically. Each player is going to play a card from their hand, then draw a new card from the deck, and rinse and repeat. You can play them on any side of the board in any way you would like, either stopping your opponent from gaining points or gaining points for your own self. And the bigger the rectangles, the better, the more scoring you're going to get. Each card has specifically three types. You got the number, you got the shapes, and you got the texture. Now you also have color, but the color is just indicating as to what color player you are. But the other three are rather important because in order to play a tile down, you have to meet a certain qualification to place them. So each and every adjacent tile next to that main tile that you're placing down has to have at least two of the types that represent on the card. And if you can't do that, you can't play the card. Luckily, there's some wild cards in the deck which will let you get away with this rule, but in general, that's how you play the game. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright guys, so this is the setup for Clustered, and every single player gets their own unique deck of cards, or tiles, and color. So this is represented by the green deck, and you've got the purple, red, and yellow deck. Alright, so once everybody has their own colored deck, then you go ahead and set in the middle of the board the black wild. And this basically means you can put any card next to it. And cards can be played in any adjacent area. They can't be played diagonally, but they can be played anywhere adjacently. We'll then go ahead and take out these two players to make it simple for example, and we will have every player draw 5 cards. So there we go, we have red drawing 5, and then we'll have yellow draw 5. Ooh, these are wonderful hands. It's almost as if we kind of made them ourselves. But we didn't, of course. Alright, so red will go first, and he will play whatever card he wants adjacent to here. And he's going to start off simply by placing this here. Alright, and then after he places his card here, he will go ahead and draw a new card. Put it right there. Excellent. And yellow will go. What does yellow want to do? Well, he's got these wild cards here. These represent wilds, as you can see. We're not going to play these just yet. We're going to save them because they're very, very useful. And we will go ahead and place this one right here. Alright, draw a new card. And rinse and repeat. And as you notice, as the game continues, so this is okay because it's numbered 2 and they're solid in texture. The only difference is these are squares and these are circles. But because 2 out of the 3 different categories are matching, it's okay. Same thing here. We will go ahead and put this one here. And as you can see, there is triangles and there's 3 of them. The only thing that's not there is the texture. These are lined and these are open. So still good, 2 out of 3. Continuing again, let's see, what do we got here? How about this one right here? There we go. So circles and 2, and draw a new card. And this guy over here, what does he want to play? How about that one? Triangles and 2. And the game continues throughout periodically as you go ahead and take turn by turn, and you're basically trying to make rectangles as big as you possibly can. So not only are players trying to place on their own side to get these big as rectangles as they possibly can to score points at the end of the game, but they can also screw over their opponents. And how would they do that? It's fairly simple. So I, as yellow, played this card here, which is the 2 dashed lines triangles. And if my opponent didn't want to play this one, he could have placed this one right next to mine, just like that. And if 2 of the categories of the 3 match, not including color, just the shape, texture, and the number of guys on there, then he could place that there, and it blocks out rectangles, so it stops me from gaining points. And they would simply draw a card on his side, and I would continue on my turn. So you can go back and forth and place however you would like. Now, obviously, you want to try and get as big of a space as possible while stopping your opponents from getting as big a space as possible. And if you can do that, you're going to end up winning the game. That's the idea of getting these points. Now, having more players means you're going to have more chances for people to screw you over, or it's going to be more difficult to place different pieces. Let me show you an example of how we screw each other over. Alright, so as I was explaining before, you can screw over your opponents by placing your own pieces on their side of the board. And what does that do? It stops them from getting the largest rectangle, as well as horizontal and vertical rows that are more than 3. For instance, here it stops this large rectangle, and for here it stops this large rectangle. And by doing so, it reduces the amount of points. Now you just want to determine whether or not placing that is going to give you more points, or is it going to be able to negate more points than you could gain. So for instance, this is a really good spot. Let me show you how to score the board up after I place one more of these tiles here. Now it stops further rows. All right, so what do we got here? the largest rectangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as well as rows and horizontal rows that have more than 3. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and vertically 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 points here for red. All right, now for yellow, we've got, this is our largest rectangle right here, so that's 6 because of this. And then we do our rows, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, vertically now, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 points. So we add up our scores, and whoever has the most at the end wins the game. Now obviously with more players, the scores get kind of tricky, and you're going to be playing on these sides of the board as well. But that, for the most part, is how you play the 2-player variant, and the 4-player is just as simple. All right, let me go and tell you how I feel about the game. All right, guys, when I first saw Clustered by Sculpin Games, I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought it was going to be a matching game, yeah, based on the box, because it shows all of these little pieces here. But whether or not I'd be interested in a matching game like this, I don't know. I thought it was going to be more kiddie. However, once I played it the first couple times, I started to realize how intricate the game was and how much strategy is involved in the game. I also really enjoyed playing it the 4-player variant as well, because things got really crazy, and you have to really understand where the best places to put things are, as well as is it worth it to put it on your side of the field or your opponent's side. Now in this example for yellow, one red placement was enough to screw over yellow's largest rectangle, whereas yellow placing on a red side of the field wasn't as much of a detriment, but it cost him more turns. So being very efficient is very important. The quality of the game is subpar, but that's because I got a prototype. So in Kickstarter, as long as hopefully you're going to expect larger tiles, just higher quality components as well as a nicer box. I imagine it will, so don't count it against the game. Also, the game's quality as far as the gameplay is concerned is amazing. The replayability is there. If you like these strategy type shaping games or tile placement kind of games, you're going to really, really, really enjoy this game, and I really, really enjoyed it myself personally. Also, the replayability is really, really there, especially with the different players you're going to be playing with, as well as the fact that the more you play the game, the better you're going to get at it. So it's one of those games where you constantly are going to be improving throughout your gameplay. Even in the first game, I started realizing poor decisions as I played the tiles down. Also, these wild cards here are very useful, and you only get 2 in the deck, so you have to make sure when you use them, it's going to be for the most vital positions on the board. As well as whether or not you want to place on what side of the field, and calculating points throughout the game. It's very, very intricate, basically, is what I'm saying. But that doesn't make the game bad, it makes the game really fun. And it's not too complicated either. There's only 3 ways to score. Like I was saying, there's the largest rectangle, vertically, and horizontally. So if you can manage to calculate that in your mind, not too bad. With 4 players, a little more. All in all, I would say this game is really, really fun. And if you like tile placement games that involve a little bit of thinking, a bit of strategy, I definitely think you'd enjoy Clustered by Sculpin Games. Alright guys, if you like this game and you'd like to see more, go ahead and check out the rest of our videos here on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, as well as checking out our website, unfilteredgamer.com, where we've got tons of blogs, live Kickstarter pages, as well as giveaways. And also, if you like this kind of content and you want even more blogs and giveaways, I suggest you check out our affiliate websites, everythingboardgames.com and thegiveawaygeek.com. Don't forget to check out our latest giveaways currently going on. A new one should be up for Mr. Game, as well as Daimyo's Fall very shortly. Alright guys, that's all I got for this one. I look forward to seeing you next time.